Wait, I'm just peeing.
We are entering the backside right now. Well, we've got some prehistoric plants, under our feet right now.
I mean, oh my god.
Putrefying.
It's putrefying. Oh, wait.
What?
Oh my god.
What's this?
Gee. Oh my god, it's
Hey.
you.
Jimmy!
Hi.
Oh my god.
What
Jimmy.
the fuck? It's been a while. Huh?
Yeah, what are you doing
How have you all
here?
been?
What are you
No lah, I
doing
was
here,
just
Jimmy?
chilling just
Just-
taking a walk.
I love it when somebody just appears from under a bridge and be like, yo, I was just chilling here, man.
No,
I mean,
what are you all
that's-
doing here?
We're just chilling here.
You're
under
also
the
chilling.
bridge as well.
Yeah, we are entering the backside. This was kind of like our entrance to LCS, the backside.
Yeah. Oh my
What?
god, look. This is really happening. It's all three of us.
What the fuck?
Wow, it's
What, you're
been a
filming?
while.
I mean,
What a
you know,
coincidence.
We were doing
That's
confessionals.
crazy.
But
Okay.
I guess
What you're confessing about?
about the show basically.
Yeah, we were just thinking about
Yeah.
the show,
We're
you know.
gonna
We thought the
bitch about
bridge
the
was.
show.
It's very firm.
Yeah, but it's still like kind of like squishy
firm
on
but
the
soft.
outside.
Do you feel like the time that you were on the show was firm but soft?
Firm but soft.
What feeling do you want?
So, I mean,
which
like-
one? About life? That is life.
Yes, I know. That is very much about life.
You should share with us your problems.
No lah. I mean,
We just shared.
we all have been through.
Who is we?
I mean, everyone. Me, my friends. Everyone goes through tough times.
Everyone who? Okay, just keep with the some
Yeah,
people.
so-
Say I.
Oh yeah, no. I wasn't trying to sell. The artist needed mentoring. Like obviously, I could tell, I could see it, right?
could smell
Especially the girl with the long hair. She needed mentoring, but she wasn't ready. So maybe I was too firm, yes. Because ultimately I'm there to also coach someone, right? But someone reject me
Yeah,
just like that.
gonna
It
reject.
didn't make me think whether I'm competent or not
Right.
to coach someone.
Yeah, of course.
But of course, there's a lot of success stories lah. You can check it out on my website.
Yeah,
Yeah. So.
on the metaverse.
No. That's not on the
It's just
metaverse.
the
on my
website.
normal website.
Amazing.
And so I mean, these things, I think it happens, and I mean, she's just not ready, lor. I cannot do anything about it. But
Yeah.
in this line, everyone deals with rejection. So like it's part of the game. But anyway, nowadays I don't do mentoring anymore. So I hope she's fine, and I hope that everyone's happy. And at the end of the day, what is life, right? Oh, I started my own NFT company. So you all should check it out. It's called mybooboo.me. Yeah, mybooboo.me. So basically, the idea is that you should you buy an NFT for your loved ones, and then your NFT, your loved ones can get an NFT for you, and then you all can lock your love onto the blockchain.
Amazing.
So
How do you-
you need to understand the world is going in that direction. Just start to invest your money into metaverse. Okay, metaverse. So that's the backside.
Yeah, I guess they are kind of like symbiotically
Okay,
merged.
they're both backsides. Yes,
One is the
facing.
entrance and the backside.
Okay.
Yeah,
Your artists are. I don't get your.
because we kind of like lost contact. You kind of disappeared for a while.
I mean,
like life's been good.
Life.
That answers an invitation for us to hang out,
Yeah, we
like
should
for the
totally
rest
hang
of
out.
the night.
Okay lah, I'm not doing anything, so just
Okay.
taking a walk.
Let's backside it.
Let's backside it.
Let's
Are you
backside it.
excited?
Are you
Say
excited?
it together.
Are you excited, right?
Are you excited?
1, 2, 3.
Are you excited?
I just
Okay.
peed there.
You know how hard it is to be an artist. Every day I have to come up with ideas. Mama says I should get a real job, but I am Picasso. I am Picasso. Come and watch me do my thing on the live creative show.
Da-da.
Da-da.
Da-da, da-da,
Da-da.
da-da, ba-da, ba-da. Right.
Especially during the shoot 2 years ago, because that place was actually very ripe
Right.
for that, and we
That's true.
kind of wish that we were spoken to by some other like supernatural force. And at a certain point we were like thinking to ourselves, wow, if this does not happen to us, we might actually want to like create it artificially.
But I think maybe we left it behind because we already found like the present kind of like matter at hand quite haunting in itself. It was growing into something already quite spectre-like.
In
Like-
fact, we are the supernatural elements, right? in
Yeah,
that space.
you know, a spirit or an entity refuses to leave because they're hung up on a certain event or a certain incident. One of our crew said to us towards the end, it was like, there's too much talking. You were talking too much, you know?
As
Like
we
you
are
didn't
right
do
now.
enough like stuff. And we're still talking, right? We haven't stopped talking.
We haven't.
But what does that do to a person, you know? Like sometimes we have to think of the after effects of that. When talking is actually all that one has.
Right now, it's kind of like an expose. Like we are putting ourselves through some type of expose.
Or at least we're attempting to expose ourselves, which the element of surprise, the element of sabotage to some degrees.
If anyone can pull off a self-sabotage or a self-expose, I feel like it's us.
So I guess it goes back to like, again, that spectral embodiment, right? We are the only ones who know that we are ghosts. Only we know that we are stuck in this like insane little loop. And we're just fixating essentially.
I thought I heard something. Like, did you hear? Like,
What
as
did you
we were-
hear?
Like when we were walking, like
What did you
I
hear?
just heard like clicks, like on the ground.
Were they like sharp clicks or like?
No, it was like a dull click. But then the moment we stopped walking, like it kind of stopped. New plot line. We've lost our cameraman / friend / man we just met on the streets, Jimmy.
Yeah.
So we're doing this solo right now.
Everything solo. I mean, that's what's new. We did everything solo anyway.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible, right?
Right?
As a piece of human history, I feel like.
As a
to-
piece of human history in the pantheon of filmmakers, we did it all by ourselves. Not many filmmakers can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can shoot like an indie horror film lah, like fuck it lah, like you can
Yeah.
shoot that to people, but a fucking reality TV show,
Yeah.
that's next level.
Yeah, it's next level.
That's some like
yeah.
new bottom backside shit.
Yeah, it cuts everyone that we ever asked for help out because that's what we did.
Definitely.
I mean, what does it matter, right?
Well, I mean, it's all labor, right?
It's all labor
And
anyway.
if they agree to it,
Yeah, I mean,
is it still labor?
us saying this right now does not somehow disqualify the labor that took place. But it definitely feels more shitty.
And we never like were able to kind of like debrief your psychologically from that.
Because we're not qualified to debrief anyone psychologically.
And I don't think we've debriefed ourselves like enough psychologically.
if we can't debrief ourselves, how could we possibly hope to debrief you?
Yeah, so at this point, I don't feel like I've fully processed what we've done, but like I'm at a better spot to kind of like relate to
Right.
what's happened.
Yeah,
So-
same. I feel like processing is also one of those things that slowly loses its meaning the more we keep telling everyone that we're not ready to process anything.
Right.
So, fuck it, right?
Yeah,
Like-
maybe it just needs to kind of like fade into a memory of something
Yeah.
completely different,
Yeah.
and so that we can have like a beautiful memory of it. That's it. And
Yeah.
like kind of like keep it there.
Yeah.
But that's not what the backside's about.
That's not what the backside's about.
It's
you know?
about triggering past trauma.
Exactly. Subtext notwithstanding, that's absolutely not what the backside is about. Jimmy. Just like, when it's Jimmy.
I think friendship plays so much. Friendship and relationship plays so much into like whatever we reproduce. There's just so much things that could not have happened without that.
Yeah,
And-
without the like cushioning deceptive beauty of friendship, right? To be like, I need this from you because we're friends.
Yeah.
Like,
And I mean, like, the facade of friendship has always been a term or like a subject of contention within reality TV, right?
I want to believe that we're still friends with a good chunk of people who were involved, but we certainly tested the waters maybe one too many times with others, you know?
Piece with like
Yeah.
beautiful
It's podcast time.
stock footage. Maybe
Stock footage.
stop
Footage.
footage. Oh my god.
Beautiful.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why some people don't want to be friends with us anymore, okay?
Yeah, some people who like shall not be named once again.
I think to the outsider, we can kind of like be in our own world sometimes, and if we don't kind of like make an effort to bring them into like the conversations and with the very specific lingo that we are using, they might feel a bit on the outside. I think that's what some of them mentioned as well.
Do you mean for the show itself, or just like when we
talk
like,
about the
talk?
show, because it's so specific, and during the show as well, like
Yeah.
as like producers, we kind of like in
Yeah.
the corner scheming about things.
Yeah, and then whenever like people ask us about it, we're like super smug, and we just like make
We're
up
like-
the weirdest, like silliest metaphors where we're like, oh, actually, I think sometimes the show was just like a strange little willy-nilly, silly Billy.
For ourselves, it's very productive and generative because it kind of like feeds
Yeah.
into like what we
Yeah.
are doing.
To have your own kind of like shorthand, right? Like,
Correct.
yeah.
But for like, you know, someone who let's say we invited to do the show and they become part of the show, but when they inquire about certain things, we are kind of like being sly in that manner. Like for them, it can be a bit disorienting and cold. I think that's what we've been called a couple of times, right? Like we are cold in terms of how we treated them, not just on an effective level, but on an intellectual level, because we're not
Yeah.
letting them in on what we are scheming.
Yeah, maybe even the show's DNA is quite cold, actually. A lot of things, while given space to express themselves, aren't necessarily amplified with the usual kind of like audio-visual strategies that one would on reality TV to amplify, like, let's say, pathos or you know, sympathy or empathy. I think we kind of just went about it in a pretty flat, sometimes seemingly matter-of-fact, but only matter-of-fact in that we have already created a distortive premise, one that already disregards certain considerations of like veracity or just general kind of like, I mean, I'm just going to go back to it, like friendship, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the temperature that we were operating in.
And also like as producers, to kind of like bring people into the project, you kind of like need to extend that hand of friendship in conjunction or over some sort of professionalism
Yeah.
to kind of like draw people into the project, right? So maybe there's like that dissonance that occurs where, you know, when we are trying to like get people in to do the project, they feel like we are treating them very warmly, like with a lot of like you know, you're telling them your thought processes and everything, but then once the filming starts, like the hand kind of like pulls back
Yeah.
and one becomes cold.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it's because there's a lack of representation in terms of the relationship between directors and stars of let's say a reality TV series, because
Yeah.
we are so big on like mimesis, right? Like we try to mimic the tropes, everything that we
Yeah.
have learned from watching tons of reality TV.
Yeah.
But what's lacking is that kind of like behind the scenes, like how do you treat your star? How do you like,
Yeah.
what kind of information do you let them in on and not let them in on? So those are things that we had to figure out ourselves.
Yeah, in some ways, like, we really did live in between, I think, cosplaying as a reality TV show, and then at certain points being confronted with the with the sometimes sad and disappointing kind of like reality that we don't actually have the infrastructure of a reality TV show.
Yeah.
We don't have the insurance, we don't have the psychological profiling / caretaking.
Yeah.
And sometimes that was something that we had to face in equally confused terms. Is that Jimmy?
Yeah, that's Jimmy.
Oh
I
god,
think
he really went in the
Jimmy's-
opposite direction.
Jimmy got completely
God damn.
the fuck
Okay,
lost.
we need to get a shot of Jimmy. We thought we lost you for a while, and didn't feel great. So
okay lah, guys.
I guess we went in different directions.
Yeah, we did.
Just like in real life when we never heard from you after the shoot at LCS.
True. You know, I had this problem with my anus once.
What's
Like-
that?
Excuse me, what?
What's the problem?
No, so I just cured it. I just cured it recently. Chronic anal fissure. I've had it for like a year, and I thought it was because I went to a bar. I went to a bar once, right? And I swallowed my first mouth of beer, and it felt like there was glass inside.
Oh my
And I
God.
thought that it went all the way through all the intestines and like just latched itself onto my anus, right?
Right.
And that's why every single time I shit, it triggers some kind of like anal tear. When shits are small, like it's alright, but when shits are big, right? Like, and it's not even that big a shit, but it will just like trigger lots of blood. And then I decided to finally go see a doctor after there was one huge shit, right? Where like everything was just like bloody as fuck. So the drugs for my hemorrhoid were like pretty mild citrusy shit and no side effects lah, and it felt pretty good.
Citrusy, fresh.
What kind of citrus? Grapefruit, lemon,
I mean,
orange?
Sir Dodo Fondolato. I think your life's good too, Sir Fondolato. It's not just Jimmy Choo's that's got
Yeah.
it good. It's you too.
Yeah, there's room for more good lives to be given.
Yeah.
Wow,
mean-
that was a weird phrase.
I think yours and my life will be better too if we do like a crime watch
Yeah,
reprisal.
yeah.
Okay,
that-
we're just gonna like put it out there first.
Yeah, crime
Singapore
watch
Art
reprisal.
Week. Okay, if anybody's gonna do that, it's
Les Chung and Kori Natto.
remember that.
Yeah, and if you
Singapore
steal
Art Week.
ideas because we publicize this idea, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, and Singapore
And you'll
Art
be a
Week.
crime watch case. Like
True. We will find you.
what?
Like you and I
we would have to sing. Whenever
we
we
had to
directed people, like we would have to
participate.
sing. We would have to be like,
Oh my god.
you know,
Damn.
I can't give you an example right now, but like,
Chong, you can't pay me enough to do that. I'm just telling you right now.
but
You can't.
But we never got paid.
我躺在床上睡不着觉，听着窗外噼里啪啦的雨滴在屋檐最炽热的夜晚，感觉如此孤单，我还是在想着你，我没有放弃咱之间的感情。想你的时候是如此的伤心，深夜里雨一直下着个不停，9月重温夕阳西下的抒情。我自从遇见了你，就没爱过其他的人，这句话一点都不假，我也不能理解为什么自己会那么的傻，那么的傻，那么的傻，那么的傻，那么的傻。心里面一直惦记着你，好渴望有天我们能够在一起。还记得你也曾经跟我说好了不要回头，真傻也别留，假如睡得好的，从没有感觉到灿烂与苍穹的天涯。你说你一点都不在意所有虚度过的时光都是浮云，好的我想跟你说的一样难听，好像能在这里听到你的声音。都是在了那么久，都是在了那么久，都是在了那么久，都是在了那么久，都是在了那么久。
Got it.
Helicopter.
Oh, this is what
I hate
TikTok
TikTok.
is. Yeah, I hate it also.
I hate
I can't
TikTok.
keep away from it.
Yeah.
I can't quit it. How did the night end? I can't remember anymore.
That night ended with us having prata and we got reverse expunged from Jimmy's anal fissure. I don't know, it got me thinking about like niceness, like quite a bit, and how, in fact, I think on a set like LCS, it was easy to fall back on a false kind of niceness and not like a genuine niceness, because I think I realized retroactively the nicest thing you can do for anyone at that time was attention instead of like giving,
Oh my god.
like saying niceties or like false encouragement.
It's probably like some old Greek phrase where they go like, the best thing that you can give someone is attention. Like it's the rarest like commodity or whatever.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
actually
It's a poetic thing. It's like from ancient poetry or something. Like maybe that's what would have happened actually if this happened during a pandemic. Then this idea of extra niceness might kick in.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
I agree.
Then you have a very different situation in your hands already.
Yeah, we would have an attentive and uber nice environment.
Yeah, our activities would be defined as such. Growth catalysts would maybe not even be a thing either actually.
We probably wouldn't have. It would have just felt quite off. They're all very good. Like
Some milk in my tea.
Squish, squish.
Squish, swish, swish.
Swish, swish. Squish, squish.
Oh no, lactose intolerance. It's horrible. Stupid.
Like you can know somebody who is nice for like years and years and not know exactly what they are thinking, and because of that you kind of are always walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
So you never really know, you can't gauge, like there's no feedback system where like you say something,
Yeah.
they respond negatively towards it, and then you as a friend not say this kind of things. So without that like loop, I find it very difficult to give myself to a person or a relationship that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just forever are kind of like on the edge.
Yeah, it's edging of a sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edging.
It's like, but I also can see myself falling into preemptive modes as well. In a general way, like I absolutely cannot deal with anything like in that moment. And so the protective layer that one creates is to be like, okay, I cannot.
Right.
I shall just be distant and nice, you know, and therefore nobody can say anything.
But that might work for a while.
Yeah.
Until you meet somebody who is completely dismissive of
Yeah.
that layer or that front that you put on.
Yeah.
And then you still have to deal with it, right? Like
Yeah, definitely.
eventually, and the fact is that you would not have had any exercise in how to kind of like respond, rebound, and recover from that.
Wow, your 3 R's. So how do you think you are the champion? Do you think you are going to be the one who dismisses like the niceties and just goes like, it's time to fight?
But I'm always the one doing that.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty, I think all 3 of us, our moon signs are all pretty vengeful actually. Like grudge holding moons actually. Capricorn,
also.
Virgo, Cancer. It's like
Vindictive.
never forget one. Cheers, cheerleaders.
Like you don't really hold the grudge against the shit stirrer. Like
Interesting.
I never put the blame on them because even
Really
though
never?
maybe some of them can be a bit more strategic and they've thought this out, but I rarely kind of like hold a grudge against them.
That's interesting. Because
Okay,
I tend
maybe
to.
I do. Actually, I do.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say I tend to kind of think like the shit stirrer's arc is always a relatively like tragical one, because like they generate the energy.
Yeah,
They're
right.
it's a thankless job for
Yeah.
giving everyone what some shit stirrers might feel like it's an opportunity to feel alive, for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
But then the resentment that comes afterwards is that like, oh wait, there was always some Machiavelli like behind it. And
Right.
usually it's not hard to kind of track it back to 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I completely take that back.
Yeah.
I do hold grudges.
Memoirs of a shit stirrer.
Yeah.
Like confessions. Just,
Confessions of a shit.
gosh. I think I really might have been quite drawn to it a few years ago. Obviously when I had more time on my hands and I was more socially like present with some sense of a like artistic community, then that really puts you in this like, oh my god, puppets, dance for me, puppets, you know, kind of way. Everyone involved in this was inherently me, and I played all these roles myself.
Right.
Which I think it thereby invalidates like a lot of other people like quietly, because then what my response like will softly manifest the sort of thing where it's like actually this person maybe didn't matter so much in the drama that ensued. I have director syndrome.
Right.
Yeah, where I'm going like actually all these people are like me, and then like for conflict, some people are bound for conflict no matter what, and they just enjoy kind of like pulling themselves back in a circular kind of like motion.
Enjoy pulling themselves back.
Yeah, like some people love to fight. Like they just do. They see the appeal of like, I have blood on my teeth, kind of like, I'm a savage kind of like thing.
Do you think Tota is a bit like that?
Definitely. I mean, she has illustrated so many times how much she enjoys like that sort of Chinese trope of like a like 先打架 then 做朋友 after that, right? Like she said that with Jimmy as well. Right? Yeah. She was like, must fight first, then we friends, right? Then I buy you coffee.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like the whole like primary school trope of if a boy is into you,
then he's obviously mean to you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. It's easy.
Oh God.
Pulling a fast one on Jimmy, actually.
But by the extension, that means she's into everyone. Like, so.
Maybe she is. She just doesn't know the right mode of communicating.
She's hyper romantic.
Yeah, the only way, or like the most in her mind idealistic way to communicate that affection is through aggression.
Right. Wow. Okay, so she's effectively stuck in kindergarten.
What is LCS? We deny our teaser video. Reject, reject, reject. This is not a teaser video. It's completed teased video. You think you know everything about me? I am my history. I am not. I am not.
No one can predict me. You cannot hack me.
Nobody knows me.
No one can predict me. 좀 오래 씹어도 돼.
얘 좀 맞지 마. 그렇죠.
어떻게 나한테 그래? 뭐야 그 표정은? 난 로봇가 아니라고. 말도 안 돼.
어디 나한테 그래? 뭐야 그 표정은? 나 로봇가 아니라고. 말도 안 돼.
어떻게 나한테 그래? 뭐야 그 표정은? 난 로봇가 아니라고.
Cute, cute. Oh, this one's a bit sticky. I don't know why.
Season 2.
Season 2. Maybe we should discuss season 2.
Maybe we should discuss. Because people keep asking for it. They just want more for some reason.
I cannot hear you.
But I can hear myself. Like, what's the problem?
Okay, well that's one thing we need for season 2. More cringe. Yeah, it's always more of whatever was working, right?
More
Like-
nice, more cringe,
More nice, more cringe.
more attention.
More attention. When you put people outdoors, they start to kind of like get activated in a very particular way.
They lose the shackles of like the sense that they're on camera. Like run across the field. We will meet them at the meadows also for the first
We
time.
have to meet them at the meadows too, yeah.
LCS without the spatial confines.
LCS, no borders.
Yeah.
LCS,
outward bound.
OVS.
Yeah. LCS,
OVS.
How
Ooh.
great will that be?
Yeah, no, that would be great. So we need like some Love Island elements as well.
The
Yeah,
assignment is to continue to be creative
yeah.
while put through the ringer of nature. Like you put them in the groups and they are like co-ed groups. Just like how on film set there will always be budding relationships.
It's funny you say co-ed because it's almost like
I mean it's obvious now.
like really commit to that. Simulations to start with, right? It's co-ed, by the way.
You know what? We
You
will
know.
only work with SOTA students.
Wow, that's your wish. That's interesting. Okay, yeah, that gives it a lot of like weird backstory and history as well. But it can be a lot to like
LCS
dig
juvenile.
into though. Because if they all have history with each other, then it can start to feel insular unless like they're really willing to
open up about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it would have to be a very strategic casting of having enough people who know dirt on each other so that they can leak each other's backstories.
Yes.
Because you never get confessions out of them like so easily, at least not at the beginning anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Bait the wild child out of them.
Okay, I do you one better.
Uh-huh.
If it's OBS always has teams, right? So what if it's SOTA and our elective program, like dream teams? Like, I think that makes the most sense, right? Because obviously, like, then it becomes about tapping into that strange zone of time that a Singapore adolescent gets to have if they're lucky enough.
Oh my goodness.
You know?
A-level versus IB.
Yeah, the civil war that Singapore is always having anyway. Like, yeah, school wars in love and creativity.
Yeah, in creativity.
Yeah.
It's not about who can paint the most photorealistic, person, coming out from a swimming pool. It's not about that.
That's very specific, very art elective. We both are able to represent both bodies like quite fairly, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. I think like if we go back to our like schools, and I think we will have the eye for the superstar.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, senior time. Like very senior time. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
So there's romance elements, there's supernatural elements, competition. I feel like some competition could have been interesting actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were too nice to our first batch of
I love that you put it that way. That because there was no competition, ergo we were too nice.
specific challenges lah.
Yeah, like bitchy little art critiques, like
your clapback or like your criticism is also graded on a scale.
Yeah. And then you can see how like who's gunning for who eventually, right?
Yeah.
So you do me one, I'll do you back. Wow.
And there must be like a process of elimination then.
Yeah. Do you think like we need a host? Someone to round them up? Maybe a pair of hosts. I do like what they did in like Real Love. Like horrible people and like so good together.
Yeah.
And ultimately this is someone who still needs to like be able to take direction from us.
Yeah.
So like
an idealized Zizi.
An idealized Zizi, I really think so, yeah. And then a calmer like counterpoint co-host. But still like pretty like horrible.
Amrit lah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. This is not even a dream actually. This one is it's very real actually. She would be like
She'll do it right.
I'm really an idealized Zizi. That's actually quite unstoppable actually.
I can see that. But I mean, I hope that we can do it within the next 10 to 20 years lah, so no rush.
10 to 20 years, yeah, I mean, no sweat.
Yeah, I don't think we'll do it soon.
Probably not. It's too... There's more to life than making a reality TV show.
It's a very specific, slightly perverse like interest, I think.
Yeah.
Like, dwell on it for too long because it can be a bit
all-consuming.
Yeah.
Ooh, Jinx, you owe me a whatever. You owe me a season 2.
I guess. Do we have disciples? Yeah.
Oh, you want proteges for Ziyi Chao Steakhouse 2.0?
Yeah. We can puppet master again, like another layer of puppet mastering.
But that sounds more tiring actually.
Possibly.
Like, with each tier of like power, it's more mess, right?
Yeah, I think that's wise words to end this with. Say it again.
For the most part, we've been talking about, if you boil it down, like what about delays and the opposite of that. What's the opposite of delay? Expedition. Is that?
Expedition.
Is it correct? That's what I mean. You know, delaying and expedition. We somehow brought it all back.
Wow.
Like, I mean, very messily, probably have to like cut around it like crazy, but
Let's
expedite it. Well, let's do it again.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Let's expedite it.
Hey, did we say expedite, right? What did you say?
Expedite it.
Okay.
What do you think I said?
I said, cannot. I couldn't hear my own voice. I couldn't hear you. Should we do it again for
let's,
safety?
Okay, let's. Yeah. No.
You count
Yeah,
down.
came in and count down. Let's expedite it.
It's amazing that we're still alive. NANI? We haven't been paid since February 2009. Now come and watch us do our thing on the Love Creative Show. All this energy that all our art will bring. The lives of divas, it's easy and short. It's okay to not know what art is. Pick up your paintbrush. We're going on a journey to see things and struggles of an everyday artist.
What in tarnation? You're in suspension.
Wow, I haven't been this in touch with my emotions for any kind of like art project